Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Touma podcast. We are back with another episode. It's good to see you. Thank you for joining us. If you're new to the podcast, please subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud. I don't think we're on SoundCloud, but subscribe to us there anyways. Leave a review or a rating. If you do, I'll read it out loud on the podcast. I'll read your name and, give you a little shout out. And, if you post on Instagram or anything, tag me and whatever. If you're listening to the podcast, I'll repost it because I appreciate the free promo because I don't have to pay for it, okay? I'm here, as always, with the lovely Chase Adrian, everybody.
Damn, what a title. Thank you.
Wanted to give you a good intro.
Appreciate it.
We are back. The NBA playoffs are in full swing. Are you a basketball fan?
Not really.
Not really.
They're died out.
They're going. I'm a Laker fan because I'm a LeBron stan. If you hate me, fuck you, okay? Jordan's an old man right now, and he's addicted to cigars, and he's probably going to get mouth cancer. So, talk shit. Fucking, I love LeBron, though. So, I watched the Lakers, and they lost, and they sucked. And, dude, Kyle Kuzma is this guy in the Lakers. He's, like, good-looking. He's, like, a fucking underwear model. He dates, like, Kardashians and, like, models and shit. Okay. Good on him. The guy's built quite the life for himself. He can't play basketball to save his fucking life, dude. Damn. I'd be way better on the Lakers. He scored 0 points the other night. Played 20 minutes, 0 points.
That's embarrassing.
0 points, 1 assist.
Okay.
I'm like, truly, actually, what were you doing with your time? Like, what were you actually doing for 20 minutes on the court? Horrible. Fuck Kyle Kuzma. I hate him. The Lakers lost. The Lakers are just... I don't know, man. It's not good. Mm-hmm. Anthony Davis played like shit. 13 points. Like, you're 7 feet tall. You're supposed to be like a top 5 player. Mm-hmm. Put the fucking ball into the hoop. Like, I don't think it's much more, complicated than that.
Right. That's all you've been doing.
What are you doing? Put the ball in the fucking hoop, you giant fuck. But the Knicks. The Knicks were back in swing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this Yeah. there we go. Chase is like, I know something about sports. There we go. The Knicks. Now the Knicks were playing the Hawks, and the crowd was 15,000 people, dude. It was like 75% capacity. It sounded like 100,000 people. It was so loud in the Garden, and it was sick. And R.J. Barrett had a sick dunk where he just fucking jammed on one of the Hawks players, like posterized him, and it was unreal, dude. I mean, there were so many like big crazy moments, and the crowd was going nuts. But I will say, Trae Young plays for the Atlanta Hawks. It was his NBA playoff debut, first playoff game ever. The guy's very young, and they were chanting "Fuck Trae Young" like so loud, bro. Like literally, like "Fuck Trae Young, fuck Trae." Like, and you could make it out like there was no mistaking what they were saying. Dude, the guy hits a game-winning shot with 0.9 seconds left, and he shushed Madison Square Garden, and he was screaming. He's like, "It's quiet as fuck in here." He's like, "It's quiet as fuck in here." Dude, it was the sick. I'll never be that cool for 1 second of my life. Imagine your NBA playoff debut, you fucking shush the Garden. Mm-hmm. Unreal, dude. And there's this tweet I posted on my story, and a bunch of New York people got all salty about it. Most people thought it was funny, but it was like, imagine chanting "fuck Trae Young" and then going back to this $2,000 a month apartment, and it was just this like disgusting like shitty like little enclave in a New York City apartment with like an old like dusty AC unit, dude. It was so fucking funny. The most viewed story ever in my Instagram story history. So I don't know. It has nothing to do with me, so that's a good sign. It's always a good sign. That's progress. A lot of you, I've seen the comments. I know what you're saying. A lot of people, do I have anything on my neck? Because apparently I had a piece of paper on my neck last week.
I don't see one.
Also, I put on sunscreen because I don't want to get skin cancer, you fucking animals. And they were like, "Why is your upper lip sweating?" It wasn't sweating. It was just a little fucking greasy because I put sunscreen on. They were like, why is his lip sweating? I'm like, that's the take. I'm talking about China and the cryptocurrency market. Your takeaway is that my lip was... I'm sorry. I had a sweaty upper lip because I put on sunscreen, you fucks. Dude, anything you put up with your face in it, people will be like, "What's with your eyebrow, dude? It looks fucking disgusting." And you're like, did you watch the video? Did you enjoy it? did you not enjoy it? Feel free to call me an asshole if you'd like. But just be like, dude, what's with your ear? Your ear's fucking gross, dude. It's like a weird ear. I'm like, dude, this is the... Okay, all right, fine. This is what you want to talk about. Fine, we'll talk about my weird ear, okay? But yeah, those are the comments. I don't know if you saw... Did you see the Adrian's Kickback thing?
No.
You didn't see this. So, basically... One random kid who doesn't have a big following at all, like he literally has like 60 followers on TikTok, just posted hashtag Adrian's Kickback. Like, I'm having a kickback in Huntington Beach, California. Basically, like, friends, you want to come meet up by the bonfire? Like, it'll be fun, just for his friends. And for some reason, the TikTok algorithm picked it up, and it got like 10 million views. And then everybody started using the hashtag Adrian's Kickback and all going, let's all meet at Huntington Beach. Dude, people drove 20 hours. People were flying in from Detroit. Like, it was crazy. And it ended up being 2,500 people, all young TikTok kids partying in Huntington Beach. Number one, I mean, if you're that age, it was probably the most fun time ever.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But the other thing, I love that the algorithm on TikTok just picked it up. Like, some fucking Chinese oligarch was just like, let's just fuck with the police in the U.S. Like, the Huntington Beach police, what are they doing? They don't have fucking shit to do.
No.
You know what I mean? They're not the Chicago PD. They're not NYPD. They don't have shit to do in Huntington Beach. They're just sitting in China in like a throne, like a TikTok throne. And they're just like, what if we just give this video 100 million views? Like, what if we just push it out to every TikTok user? Let's just fuck with the Huntington PD. Like, dude, why don't we unleash 3,000 TikTokers on the Huntington Police Department? There's somebody in China that has the power to manipulate the algorithm like that.
Sure.
They could choose to make something viral if they want. Mm-hmm. Remember it came out that like good-looking people were being preferred by the algorithm. I don't know if you saw that. Like, literally, the algorithm favors you if you have like a more symmetrical face and if you're not fat and all this shit.
It would make sense,
right? That's why all these hot kids are famous, because these Chinese oligarchs are like, you want to make them like these Chinese oligarchs are like, I don't want to look at fat people. Let's look at fucking hot 17-year-olds. Make them all famous. Just 17-year-olds with washboard abs. Let's make them into the next generation of A-list celebrities. Dude, it's so funny that that whoever runs TikTok in China can just fuck up our world.
Everything.
They've made like Bryce Hall and Addison Rae our biggest. Like, Charlie D'Amelio is the most famous person in our country, and they also ruined an entire week for the Huntington Police Department, which is so funny. I mean, it's also so funny, dude. They were like, dude, the Huntington PD were there in like riot gear, and they were like shooting paintballs into the crowd to like disperse all these TikTok kids. I mean, it's just so funny. Like, they're blasting Doja Cat on the pier. Let's shoot them. Dude, like, all these moppy-headed 16-year-olds were just sitting there like, like, what damage could they possibly be doing? And they were like, hit them with tear gas, boys. They're doing the nay-nay. Like, dude, come on, bro. The fact that they showed up in like riot shields. Like, what is fucking Noah Beck gonna stab you? Why don't you relax, dude? Oh, it's so funny. Shout out to Adrian from Adrian's Kickback. I wish I could have been there. Dude, if I knew, I'm not up on TikTok trends because I'm not a pedophile. But if I was, I hear about them after the fact. I don't hear about them when it's cool.
Right.
And man, it would have been so sick to shoot an Excusing Well.
I was going to say the same exact thing. It would have been sweet. I think it's just all the buildup of like the CDC said, you know what? You guys could all go out, have a good time now. And then this was...
Bro, imagine being in high school and you like obeyed the COVID guidelines. Dude, that would have been such a nightmare between me and my mom. I was such an asshole. I would have like deliberately not worn a mask. I would have been an anti-masker just in like with her just to fuck her up. Like just to be like, fuck you, mom, I'm not wearing my mask. Dude, if I was a teenager during all this, I definitely would have like just become a hardcore Republican out of rebellion. I'd be like, fuck you, mom. I'm fucking voting for Rand Paul. Like, that would have been my getting back at my mom. Like, oh yeah, mom, you think you're cool? Yeah, tell Fauci to suck my dick, mom. Like, that totally would have been me. But fucking, It is so funny. These kids were just like climbing up flagpoles and just like jumping on top of cop cars. I mean, they were wilding out, but also like if I'm choosing between like a bunch of TikTok kids who wanted to party and the Huntington Police Department, I'm definitely going with the TikTok kids.
Of course.
If I'm choosing sides over the Huntington PD, you needed a little exercise, boys. You're getting fat. What, have you been chasing squirrels down the beach? What the fuck do you have to do in Huntington, dude?
Nothing.
Right? Nothing. Oh, I was in Huntington Beach once. I saw this kid get fucked up in a street fight.
Oh, shit.
Just fucked up, dude. There's a homeless kid, and he was like 19, and he was like kind of talking shit, but he's just kind of crazy. You know, obviously like mentally ill. And then there's these like scumbag like skater kids, like white kids saying the N-word, like, you know, like just acting like little hood ass white kids. Not my cup of tea, I'd say. And the one kid from the group who's also like 19 got in a fight with a homeless kid, and he's like hits him with a couple good shots, and we're all watching. We're like, oh, like he got him a couple good punches. He's winning the fight, and it's like, good on you. I'm down to see someone get their ass beat in a respectable way. You beat someone's ass in a respectable way. Couple shots. You want to give a kick if you know some UFC shit? Sure. I'm not a big fan of the ground game. It kind of is not as fun to watch if you're someone watching a street fight. And I'm a connoisseur of street fights. I love nothing more than observing a bar fight and not at all getting involved in it. But this kid was fucking winning the fight, and he gets him with like a nice right hook, gets the homeless kid, like lays him out on the ground, you know, and we're like, man, he fucking won the fight. Dude, then he grabs the kid's hair and starts bashing his skull into the cement.
Jesus.
And we were just like, we all like ran over and like shoved him off and like, dude, some guy, it was like, it was on the pier, so there's these patio like restaurants. Some random guy ran from his dinner table and just put the kid in a headlock. We were all like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? And then, like, it was insane. They were like, yo, this motherfucker was like, they were just acting like, one of the kids was like, snitches get stitches. I'm like, number one, you definitely go to private school. So don't say that to me. Number two, do I look like anybody who obeys the street code? Do I look like, I mean, I'm wearing flip-flops right now. Do I look like anybody who obeys? He's like, snitches get stitches. It's like, all right, buddy, how about you hop back on your Huffy and get out of here? You look like a fucking tech deck dude. You're sitting here like, snitches get stitches. It's like, okay, Ryan Sheckler. I'm sure you're part of the big street code, dude. It's so crazy. You ever seen like a fight like that where they're just like, the kid like, where they'll win the fight and then they just kick him in the head? It's like, why did you kick him in the head?
Yeah.
What the fuck? That would never be my inclination. Like if I got in a fight, like my like instinct would never be like, oh, I knocked him down. Now it's time to stomp him until he's dead.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of vicious animal are you? Where you're like, hey, I got him on the ground. Let me grab him by the hair and bash his skull into the cement. Like, what are you doing? What the fuck are you doing, dude? No good. No bueno. I don't know. There's in other news, there's we are getting the finest level of entertainment in this country, and by that I mean there's more YouTuber boxing matches happening. I don't know if you've seen this. There's an event called YouTubers versus TikTokers boxing.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Because the country's in a deep decline. Society has fallen, and YouTubers are boxing TikTokers. I mean, it really is just like the Chinese ruined this country with TikTok. I said it earlier. I will say it again, dude. They've like, it's so funny to me that we all watch TikTok. I watch TikTok. Our TikTokers are boxers now. TikTokers are movie stars. TikTokers are randomly starting 3,000 person parties on the pier of the Huntington Beach. Like, life in the United States is in chaos because of TikTok, and it's literally just China's just like, yeah, I mean, we're probably going to go to war with them in 20 years. Why don't we rot their brains from the inside through their phones? Like, they're like, somebody in the Chinese military is like, what should we do? Should we drop a nuke on them? Should we fire missiles into the United States? And they're like, no. Give them Charlie D'Amelio. We'll use psychological warfare. We'll rot their brains with Addison Rae. Like, that is the Chinese way of beating us in the long-term war. This is why they will win. It's why we will lose. It's why we're all going to be working for China someday. Because we've ruined our brains with just watching Josh Richard dance with his fucking washboard abs. We're watching TikTokers box each other, dude. And they're like, yeah, that's it. We'll make them too stupid to use any of their weapons because they've spent all their time watching TikTok dances. It's like, dude, we don't have to actually even use weapons. They're not going to be able to fight us. They've all rotted their brains while jerking off to 16-year-olds dancing on their phones. Hot kids. Just give them hot kids. It's like the Epstein thing where Epstein would take like these oligarchs and make them, have them fuck young women and then use it as blackmail for the CIA. Mm-hmm. It's like that, but on a higher level like that. The Chinese are doing that with our entire country. They're just blackmailing all of us. They're like, we don't even watch these hot kids. Because when you see these TikTok girls who are like 17, it's just like, and they have 100 million followers. I'm like, there's no way like at least 2 million of them aren't creeps. Like there's 2 million complete creeps. If you're a 40-year-old guy and you're following Charli D'Amelio, there's just no excuse. There's really no excuse. Like, there's no way. Like, imagine trying to explain that. You're 40 years old and you're following Charli D'Amelio, and your buddy's like, yo, dude, why are you following Charli D'Amelio? Like, you're 37. And you're just like, dude, she's a great dancer. Dude, I'm honestly just a real big fan of the moves. Really. Her and Addison, they're great. You're like, dude, you have to be a pedophile. There's just no way you're not. But there's a YouTuber versus TikToker boxing match, and it is just like, it's so funny that this is our entertainment now. Like, I gotta give it to these kids. They're master marketers, and it's so funny that like you could tell. Like, it's weird. On one hand, the Bryce Halls and Jake Pauls of the world are master marketers, right? They're genius marketers. They found a way to sell major pay-per-view tickets to events that they're a part of. They're making millions of dollars. They own energy drink companies and clothing brands, and they're really just like, they're successful multimillionaire business people at the age of like 20 years old. Yeah. You got to give it to them for that. You can't take that away from them. I'm not a fan of Jake Paul or Bryce Hall or any of these little fucking douchebags. They're like, no, I don't like that either, okay? But, dude, if you make $20 million off an energy drink company at 18... Dude, when I was 18, I was smoking weed behind the fucking Galleria Mall in Buffalo. Like, I wasn't owning an energy drink company. I don't know what... I don't like these kids either, but you can't be like, that's just luck. These kids are idiots. Like, they are idiots. I'm sure if I talked to Bryce Hall, I would want to put a bullet in my head. Having said that, the guy owns a mega mansion because he's like an insanely successful entrepreneur. You know what I mean? Like, they're doing something right. You can't lie. They're doing something right. But I also love that, like, they looked around at the options past TikToking. And they're like, okay, you can't dance with your cock out forever. You can't shake your balls on the internet. Because once you're 25, it's not that cool anymore. People only want to watch 18-year-olds shake their nuts online. So I'm going to have to transition into a bit more of a mature field of work. And they look around at the options and they go, podcasting, can't do it. I have to have an opinion about anything. And I don't have thoughts. And then they look at like, okay, acting, and they're like, but I have to audition. And I have to memorize stuff. And again, I don't have any thoughts. So it's hard for me to memorize lines when there's no brain in my skull. I think this is what Bryce Hall's thinking. Mm-hmm. And then he just looks around and goes, what if I just made millions of dollars getting fucking punched in the face? And now he's going to do it. Like, this kid's going to make millions of dollars just getting his ass kicked. Mm-hmm. He's fighting this guy, Austin McBroom. I don't know if you've heard about this guy.
What does Austin McBroom do?
Oh, dude. There's we'll start from the top.
Okay.
There is a category of YouTube videos that are family vlogs.
I do know these.
You know these, where it's like, today it's Christina's 3rd birthday, and they're like, we're throwing her a birthday party at the local bowling alley, and they're like sticking a fucking boom mic in her face, and the kid's like robbed of her innocence. Yeah. You know what I mean? They've like got the kid in full makeup. Mm-hmm. You know, they're like, do your makeup. You better look good for this. This is our moment. It's just a bunch of fucking Hollywood actors that never made it, that went to LA to be famous, to be models, to be celebrities, and they didn't do it. And then they were like, what if I could get famous off of just pimping out my 4-year-old on the internet? I just forced them to be on camera, and so other 4-year-olds could watch. It's also like, there's no adults watching family vlogs. I simply cannot believe that there's a ton of adults watching family vlogs. So it's like, if you're someone like this guy, Austin McBroom, who's like the dad in a family vlog series, I'm looking at him like, yeah, you have 6 million followers. They're 8-year-olds. Are you like, do you not think that's creepy? Like that there's no way. It'd be one thing if you were doing some Mr. Rogers ass shit where like you're making really cute content for kids that kids love. It's
educational.
And it's educational, and you know that you're doing, like, Bill Nye, the Steve from Blue's Clues, Mr. Rogers, like, you know, if you're doing that, look, I'm making kids content, but kids love it, and it's a little educational, and it makes them happy, and it's not something that's like bad for them to watch. This fucking guy, Austin McBroom, he's fighting. Dude, you're punching people in the face and like smoking blunts at like LA parties. Like, for who? For our third graders? That's who you're dude, he literally like looks, he dresses like Drake, and he's like, yeah, dude, fucking like anybody who wants to fucking talk shit will get fucked up. Like, these kids tried to like film a video of him in the street, and he had like 7 boys in his entourage like kicking the kids' asses. I'm like, dude, what? Why are you acting like Pooh Shiesty? You're a family vlog dad. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're doing this for your audience of 9-year-olds. There's no way, you can't tell me they're not 9-year-olds. Who's watching family vlogs? It has to be. And dude, this guy, he's such a, but like, you know, that's what it is. These fucks moved to LA to be famous, and then they got there and they're like, oh fuck, I don't have any discernible talents. I'm literally good at 0 things. And then they're like, what can I do? Pop out a couple kids and force them to be on camera from the moment they're like, we got our newborn today. Cameras in the newborn's face. Yeah. 20 million views. Like, how is that kid not going to have psychological damage?
Of course.
It has to. Can you imagine that? That would never be my, like, what is going on in your brain where you're like, I just created the gift of life. I just procreated. And now, because I came in my wife, 9 months later, there's a human being that is connected to me through DNA forever. What should I do? Monetize this video. Like, dude, can you imagine that? Be like, I had a kid. It's a newborn baby. It's the first day I'm ever meeting my child. For the rest of my life, I'm going to know this kid, and I'm going to be able to raise it, and we'll have a bond that is so deep that it's unspeakable. What should I do? What I should do is tell you to subscribe to Dollar Shave Club. Like, dude, what is wrong with you? Like, literally, you're literally like, he's literally like, the gift of life, that's almost as good as SeatGeek. Use the promo code ACEFamily to get 20% off. See our newborn? We left her in the street. Like, bro, you're a terrible fucking parent if you're doing that.
Those kids are definitely getting bullied at school too, right?
Dude, they're definitely getting bullied. And if best case scenario, they're getting bullied. Worst case scenario, they're going to be heroin addicts, dude. You think Macaulay Culkin's fucked up? What about the kids in the Ace family? The Ace family. These family vlog kids. These poor little bastards.
They're getting tased.
Dude, oh my God. I mean, they're all going to grow up to be little Charlie Sheens. Like, there's no way it doesn't go wrong. They've ruined these kids. That can't be the guy that teaches you your ABCs. Some fuckboy guy that's like on TMZ, like, yeah, bro, I'm going to kick his ass in the boxing match, dog. C, D, E, F, G. Like, that can't be your dad. Like, that's not good. That guy shouldn't have had kids. And then past that, like, you're just pimping them out. It's so fucked, dude. It's so fucked. It also turned out that apparently he's like a violent rapist. There's like violent rape allegations. I know. Took the podcast dark. Chase is like, you really can't just have one podcast, Can You, Luke, where you're not talking about horrific things. But yeah, apparently I'm obsessed with this guy, by the way.
Okay.
Austin McBroom. I don't know why it's the Ace family. I don't know enough about what makes them called the Ace family because the guy's last name is McBroom.
Right.
But apparently he's a violent rapist, which rape is not funny. But it is funny to think that this guy's a rapist because, boy, does that make sense. I mean, of course. I'm like, because I'm looking at him like, what demons is, dude? This guy, he's the fucking worst, bro. I hate this guy. I'm obsessed with him. I'll be honest. I pay more attention to him than I pay to my girlfriend. But he's a horrible person. Austin McBroom, dude. He's a fucking. You gotta see this guy. Hold on 1 second. It's this guy on the right. I mean,
that's even worse than I pictured you pitching.
I mean,
my God.
Bro, look at this guy. Are you fucking kidding me? Look at this guy, dude. This fucking bloated August Alsina. You piece of shit who wasn't even good looking enough to be an R&B singer. Now you got to pimp your kids out on YouTube. Look at this guy, dude. God. Could there be a worse face? No. Could there be a worse face? I mean, I don't wish death upon anybody except for Austin McBroom, in which case I do hope that he gets hit by a milk truck. I want it to be full of milk, and I want the milk bottles to shatter. An old-school milk truck like from the 50s. I want the milk bottles to shatter everywhere. And then they're like, Austin McBroom's dead. He died because he got hit by a milk truck. That's what I'm hoping happens. Because this guy, dude, oh, God, bro. Imagine if this was like your boy. Like this is your buddy. This fucking guy. Dude, he's wearing Jesus Peace earrings. Like, what are you doing, dude? Oh,
and he's going to fight a TikToker.
Dude. I've talked about it before, like, as just being from Buffalo and being, like, from a normal place, I can't believe when I see guys like that. When I'm just like, nobody ever was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, nobody was just like, hey, man.
At any point.
Like, nobody, you never got your balls busted. Like, if you're Bryce Hall, like, nobody ever it's so funny watching those kids like, oh, dude, like, you're fucking a pussy. Like, they try to bust each other's balls on their, like, I'll see, like, vlogs of these TikTok kids like, oh, dude, you're like a pussy. Like, It's like, yeah, dude, I'm not really buying it when you're all, like, shirtless with your washboard abs, like, oiled. You know what I mean? Like, you're all, like, hanging out with your abs oiled, and you're like, oh, dude, my boys are, like, fucking losers. Like, oh, dude, you're such a fucking bitch. And I'm like, are you really busting each other's balls, or are you plotting your next fucking merch drop? Like, come on, dude. There's no way. We have spoken about the Nelk Boys. I think I introduced you to the Nelk Boys. I just showed you their stuff, you know, right? Salim is one of the Nelk Boys. He's going to be starting. I got to make sure I move the coffee off my lips for you fucking psychopaths that watch this podcast. Salim is one of the Nelk Boys, and he's going to be doing stand-up comedy.
Okay.
Starting stand-up. And it's just like, I've gotten to this point, and maybe it's not from a healthy place, but it is from a place inside me that I can't deny, where, like, a lot of comics, so you're not too privy to the stand-up world.
Right.
Stand-up comics, the unsuccessful ones especially, are very, like, they're artistic snobs in the way that they're like, this is good comedy and this is like the pure art form. They have no fucking fan base. They don't really do well, but they do these like long fucking complex jokes that like get laughs from the comics in the back of the room. But they all look like fucking mole people. I mean, they're like 300 pounds. They're falling apart. They're like sweaty. They smell bad. They wear the same clothes every day. They drink fucking PBRs. They don't have girlfriends. They're just fucking losers, dude. And they do these horrible bits that they think are good that I don't think are good, because the metric for if something's good is how many people like it. If nobody likes it except 7 comics at the back of the room, how good is it? Cannot be that good, right? So in the comedy world, when they see like a YouTube star do comedy, they get furious because they're like, dude, because the whole thing with stand-up is like, it does take a long time to get good at. And I get that. And I think that. I know that. It took me, I picked it up very quickly, and it took me, I would say, like 3 or 4 years before I was like, I thought I was a good comic. I probably wasn't a really good comic until I was like 4 years in. But this is 4 years doing it every night, you know, every single night for 4 years. It took me that long to get good at it. It takes some guys 8 years. And then they end up being good, but like 8 years to get proficient at it every day. Because you can only practice it in these little like 10-minute increments.
Right.
It's not like guitar where you can sit around and play it all day. You know, you got to practice it like, you know, you can't, there's no scales, there's no singing, you know, do, re, mi, fa. No one's like, cunt, fuck, bitch. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not practicing your punchlines in the mirror. It doesn't work that way. So I get that it takes a while, but they get so pissed off, these comics, when they see like a YouTuber starting. Because they're like, dude, he didn't fucking do the grind. Like, he's just gonna like, he's gonna suck. And they try to like convince themselves this shit. They're like, dude, yeah, so he's gonna sell out that show, but then the audience is gonna look at him and they're gonna go, yeah, but this isn't real comedy. And like whoever opens for him, like the local feature act at the club, is gonna be like, blow him out of the water, because like that dude's been like getting the reps in. He's actually done the work as a comic to blah blah blah. And it's like, actually no. The audience is filled with 600 people who love this person from whatever they know them from. YouTube, TikTok, whatever. They're going to do fine. I don't think they're good at comedy, but they're going to do well. Like their fans are going to like whatever they do.
Right.
And also, if their fans are YouTube fans, they're not like cultured on stand-up comedy. So they're not comparing, you know, fucking this kid who's on stage doing stand-up they're not comparing him to Bill Burr and Andrew Schultz and Tim Dillon and Louis C.K. You know what I mean? Like, they're not like comparing him to these great comics. They're fucking comparing him to, they don't know there's no reference point. You know what I mean? I don't know anything about the opera. So if I went to the opera and heard some guy, I'd be like, I'd be like, that's fucking great. But some opera snob would be like, this guy sucks. He missed 3 notes. He's a hack. Like, he does the easy songs. He's a pretty boy bitch. And the best opera singer is this fucking fat loser over here who nails the solo like you'd never. And I wouldn't know the fucking difference. Like, I don't know. I'm not a connoisseur of opera. So I don't fucking know what's good opera and bad opera. If I hear someone going, "Hey," I'm like, that's fucking awesome. You killed it. You know, whatever. If you're singing with that booming voice, good on you. Good, sounds good to me. Because I don't know shit about opera. It's the same thing if a YouTuber has fans that come to a stand-up show. Their fucking fans aren't like, oh, well, this is not good comedy because Gary Goldman did a special in 2007 that 200 people saw, and it was just the most brilliant blah, blah. Like, they're not comedy nerds. You know what I mean? They don't know what, like, they're not comparing it to good stand-up. So it's like these comics get so mad, and it's like, no, actually, their fans are going to love whatever they do. Their fans have no reference point for stand-up, and they came there to enjoy someone that they know. They didn't come there to sit with, like, a notebook like they're fucking the Roger Ebert of fucking stand-up comedy. You know what I mean? There's 17-year-olds in Cleveland. Yeah. They know this guy from his YouTube vlogs. They don't give a fuck about the integrity of stand-up comedy. It really only matters to like 1,000 people who are all comedians. It really does not matter. So I've taken the heel role in this way, where I'm now on the side where it's like, I hope that all the YouTubers start doing stand-up. Like, I want them all, and to sell better tickets than the comics I know. Like, that's like, I'm kind of like, I'm wishing for Armageddon in terms of stand-up, where I just want to see all of the Nelk boys like sell out the Garden doing stand-up. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want to watch. I want to watch Bryce Hall do stand-up. I want to see him sell out an arena as a stand-up comic. I really want that.
After the boxing match.
After, Bryce, if you're listening to this, after you finish boxing, I want you to get into stand-up comedy. I think you'd be great at it. I know I said you were an idiot earlier, but I didn't mean that. I was just kidding around. I think you're hilarious, and you'd be a great stand-up comic. And if you could, please drop into New York Comedy Club and bump the other comedians that are on the lineup. No, it's just, I hate that, like, the older I get, I hate, like, artistic snobbery, where it's like, this is actually the real thing. It's like, and I guess I'm that way about movies. So I'm a bit of a hypocritical cunt, because I did shit on all the Marvel movies, and I get it. But it's just because I'm not into them, and I was being very biased. But it's a biased podcast. It's got my name on it, so fuck off, dude. I'm a biased guy. So, but I do hate, like, especially when it comes to, I think my art form, like, I had a huge phase in stand-up of artistic snobbery, where I was like, this is the only good comedy, and this is bad, and this is hack, and this is blah. It's like a natural phase. It's like, I'm sure when you got into movies at first, you had, like, who's your, like, Did you have like a director or like a certain?
I mean, there's like Paul Thomas Anderson, like the Old Blood guy. He's like known as the top guy.
Magnolia and all that. And, Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you went to Emerson.
I'm sure he did and loved it.
Yeah.
No.
That's where I went. Yeah. So I like when you first got into movies, were you kind of snobby about it? Like in your head, not like being an asshole to other people.
I think it's perspective. Some people still think I'm snobby because I don't really like the Marvel movies. And like, you just don't know how to have fun. And I'm like, no, it's just like, there's better.
Yeah.
So there's like always going to be a level of snobbery, but...
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I'll never lose my snobbery entirely about stand-up. But...
It's how lenient you are with it, though. Like, there's some people, it's like, it has to be this way, or it's bad.
Because, like, comics, I know will just shit on these people that, like, sell out arenas, like Gabriel Iglesias and, like, Chris D'Elia before he got found texting 16-year-olds. But, like, they would, I've heard so many comics, like, shit on Chris D'Elia. Like, he's a fucking hack. It's like, dude, the guy is in a 14,000-seat arena. Like, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
What the fuck ever, dude. You go do that. You go fill an arena. Everybody's laughing. There's 6,000 mistakes in that arena. I can't imagine that. 6,000 people are dying laughing, and the guy just sucks.
Yeah.
That's it. He's just shitty. You know what I mean? Like the mental gymnastics that you have to pull on yourself.
It's almost like I respect everybody that's made it. You know what I mean? Like I respect what Marvel did. Even though it's not my thing, I understand it's the biggest thing on the planet.
I know, and I am hypocritical for the Marvel thing, but I'm not going to apologize on this podcast. That's not what we're about here. We're not about growth on this podcast. We're about sticking to your guns. No, but fucking, I don't know. It just drives me crazy. Like, I hate it when it comes to comedy because it's just like, how long are you going to hold on to that before you let go? Like, you're allowed to have your opinions. I think this is my favorite. This is my least favorite. This is okay to me. But when it's like, this guy sucks and like dude, I remember arguing with this fucking piece of shit. If you're like, he probably won't hear this, but you know who you are. This comedian in New York, piece of shit. And we were in a fucking, I hate this guy. Dude, he talks like a Muppet. You ever go on Spirit Airlines? He's a fucking loser, dude. Guy stinks. He's like 40. He's been doing comedy for like 20 years. He's from Indiana. I'm giving away a lot now. But this guy stinks, dude. He's just awful, and he's just like doesn't have any fans, and he's just been doing it for forever. And he's like a snob about comedy who's not good at comedy.
Right.
Like, he's not even good. He's actually bad, but he's a snob because he's just friends with comics who's been doing it for 48 years. And he's like passed at one fucking showcase club where he gets paid $75 to go after some fucking 70-year-old comedian who's on dialysis. You know what I mean? Like, whatever, dude. Anyways, I was arguing with the guy, and it was like, we were arguing about Chris D'Elia, and he was like, his dad's a director. And I'm like, I know that. Yeah, his dad's a director. And he was like, he only got famous because his dad was a director. And I'm like, just every time he was funny in a TV, she's hilarious in Workaholics, massive podcast. What does that have to do with Hollywood? Blew up on Vine. That's because his dad's a director. That's why his Vines got a lot of views.
Yeah.
His dad called in fucking the Weinstein of Vine? Who there's no fucking hierarchy at Vine. You know what I mean? Like, but that bitterness drives me fucking crazy.
No, I feel that for sure. Because a lot of people don't know the difference between like, there's definitely a shit ton of kids that like have money and like parents just give them money or whatever. But like everyone that's made it at something, like they made it for a reason. You know what I mean? There's no one that got handed a career necessarily.
Yeah, dude, I'm at the point where it's like, if you're giving people joy in some way and it's like a big audience, like I can't, what am I supposed to say? I can't like, I'm going to sit here and be like, you just suck. You suck. How can I say that? 2 million people disagree with me. And it's like, maybe it's not my thing. Maybe that's what I should have said with the Marvel movies. All right. Maybe we are about growth on this podcast. Okay. Maybe I should have said the Marvel movies aren't for me, because I'm just like, just suck. You just suck. Like, especially when it's like stand up or funny videos or a podcast. Like, look, it might not be my thing, but a lot of people seem to like it. Like, somebody likes it, dude. Somebody fucking likes it. Like, and I can't be sitting here like, this guy sucks. Like, sucks? Just bad. Like, that's some 19-year-old shit. That's some shit I did when I was 19. It's like, you got to grow out of that, dude. This fuck at the bar that I was arguing with, wrap around back to him, this fucker is like 30.
That's the same guy.
Dude, he's like 38, and he's like still on that 19-year-old mindset of like, if it's not exactly what I like, then it's not the right way to do the art form. It's like, dude, how long can you live in that?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? You're also never going to make money like that. Let's be honest. Like, you're not going to make a good living.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, you understand it. I understand it. I have to make a video for like, I'm not going to name drop, but a place I wouldn't want to make a video for, you know, but that's how it works.
Yeah, dude. And I'm going to host some fucking MTV Spring Break shit at some point. And am I going to think it's the best art in the world? Probably not, but I'm going to do it. So I'm going here right now. If you see me on MTV Spring Break, don't judge me. It's also like these comedians are doing late night sets, by the way. Oh, fucking Jimmy Kimmel, real high art. He's fucking playing with puppets and interviewing Jennifer Lawrence. Real fucking wow. He should be, you know, the Coen brothers should make him the fucking third. You know what I mean? Shut the fuck up. Like, oh, yeah, Jimmy Fallon. Yeah, the next George Carlin there. Fucking Jimmy Fallon. oh my God, sorry. Just fake laughing at Ice Cube's stories. Like, you're doing comedy on his show. Don't act like you're part of some higher art form. You're doing comedy on Jimmy Fallon's show. Jimmy Fallon. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Jimmy fucking Fallon. Right after he interviewed DaBaby. Like, you're not part of a higher art. I'm sorry. The 5-minute stand-up set you did after Jimmy Fallon interviewed fucking John Travolta about John Travolta's pet Shiba Inu. You know what I mean? Like, this is not, like, you know what I mean? You're not part of
the thing.
You're not part of some higher art form.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Richard Pryor's not looking down from heaven like, oh my God, the 5 minutes you did on the Seth Meyers show was just brilliant. Like, dude, there's no fucking like, that's the other thing. It's like we're all you lose that like artistic snobbery when you realize like if you want to make it in what you're doing or what I'm doing, not everything is gonna be, you know, not everything is gonna be fucking Citizen Kane.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Maybe you'll make one 30 years from now.
That's the other thing. Like the best artists or comedians in the world, they have 3 amazing works of art and then a handful of very good ones, but they're not cranking out you think these guys, these fucking loser comics, and this is relatable to about 7 people, so I realize that you have no idea. But like these guys, dude, they think they're doing like masterpiece. It's like, dude, this is not a masterpiece. Mm-hmm. It's 5 minutes of stand-up comedy about Tinder in a fucking bar in Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. Like what do you think this is, like Beethoven's 9th Symphony? It was a joke about Spirit Airlines. Like, dude, it's not like, I hate that shit. Mm-hmm. I fucking can't stand that shit, dude. That like, artistic, like, oh, well, this is the good and this is the bad. Mm-hmm. When I saw like, that was part of what was dope about starting to do Excuse Me What, is like doing the show. And I also love the show, so I guess it doesn't count. Because that's not something it's like something I think is hilarious.
Yeah, but you didn't think you would do something like that necessarily.
No. Yeah, and just seeing like guys be like, you should work with fucking David Dobrik. You should work with this guy. Like these YouTubers that I never watched before doing YouTube. Yeah. And I'm like, so I'm making something I think is hilarious, and that this stranger loves it. And then they want me to collaborate with this YouTuber who I probably would have shit on 3 years ago. It's like, this is fine. That's fine. They're doing something of value. Yeah. Someone who likes my shit also thinks that person's funny. So it's like, well, you know, what are you going to do? Look, this has been my TED Talk for the day. It's no, we'll wrap it up there, guys. Next, I'm going to start a Patreon. I'll name drop that comedian on it. No, but if you're new to the podcast or old to the podcast, please like and subscribe, share, leave us a little review, write a little note, dude. Leave your name. I'll shout you out because we appreciate the reviews here on the Luke Touma podcast. As always, I'm here with Chase Azarian, at Chase Azarian on Instagram, chilling with Chase on YouTube, the most active channel on the platform. The guy's cranking out 10 videos a day. You got to get over there.
Yes,
chilling
sir.
with Chase. Guys, we'll see you next week. Peace.